All right, time for another video. Been a few weeks, so thought I would chat. Jim Ventura, uh, woo-woo guy, snake oil salesman, as we like to call. If you're not already getting my monthly, maybe twice a month YouTube videos, subscribe below, and so you can get updates on all that good stuff. Anyway, okay, here's what I want to talk about today. Something very, very relevant for a lot of people right now. With the spread of COVID-19, a lot more concern about the practicality of breathing and getting ill and all of these other realities that have unfortunately entered into our world. I've talked to clients and talked to people many times before about issues connected with breathing. So, there's some common lung ailments that people are certainly aware of: asthma, chronic bronchitis, COPD, lung cancer, emphysema, even pneumonia. And we live in a society where we address things from a scientific perspective, and that's great, and we should, and doctors work hard to heal and do the best that they can. But, when we come from a metaphysical place, we're recognizing that there are multiple sides to everything, including having breathing issues. And we can add to our ability to heal those things. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. For many of us, and me included, I had, illnesses when I was younger. I often got the flu, or I was a cold, or I was sick. I had some allergies. I had friends that had asthma, things like that. I didn't quite have that. But what I can tell you is, beliefs form your reality. They're all intertwined. Health and healing needs to occur at multiple levels, and also the illness is something that is basically at multiple levels if we're willing to look at it. So for many of us, I was raised Catholic, kind of told to be small in the background. There were good things about that religion too, so I'm not ripping that apart by any means. But I was taught to be small, not to take too much in. And for different reasons, many of us got messages like this when we were younger, that it's not okay to breathe life in fully. And we're not just talking about that at a physical level. Think about that energetically, spiritually, about being smaller, not allowing yourself to receive comfortably, and having issues with that. Many people have issues with that. Most people do, to some extent. So I think it's important to look at these things. I always remember when I was a kid, being in the background, and I started learning about superheroes. Like, my favorite power was ideally would be to be invisible. I think that's still cool, but it's definitely not a power I would be looking for now. But that was that part of me that kind of wanted to hide, felt judged, and was taught, can be small, be in the background, all of those things. So very, very good to look at these things, because again, it becomes, almost unconscious in a way, where we just assume we don't deserve a lot, we can't breathe in fully, all of these other dynamics that end up being part of our life, and then we deal with that accordingly. So I found a couple of really great healing modalities that work, and they will affect us both physically and energetically and spiritually if we begin to look at the roots of where that stems from in us, where we were taught that we weren't worthy, or we should restrict the breath of life in. And again, everything is ultimately interconnected. So if you look at the great book "You Can Heal Your Life" by Louise Hay, she lists lung issues, energetically, spiritually, as depression, grief, fear of taking life in, a fear of not being worthy of living fully. So, making sense. Her healing mantra for that is, I take in life in perfect balance. I have the capacity to take in the fullness of life. I lovingly live life to the fullest. It's a good mantra. Ran across some interesting insight from some angel cards years ago. A great little mantra to carry in your meditations and working through some of this stuff is, I now receive good graciously into my life. And I'll throw one other thing out that I learned through Lakota Indian studies about talking about the concept of air itself, and a wonderful mantra for meditation as well too, which is within each breath, I inhale the gift of life, and I exhale the gift of myself into this world. So what if we not only learned how to breathe and take in, but also to recognize how valuable we are as human beings? None of us are mistakes. We're beautiful creations with individuality. You can see this in our astrology charts, and even if numerology and other areas where you can get more clearer pictures of these things. But everyone listen to this. None of your life is an accident. You have things to offer. You are a gift. And so that's getting the hang of that breathing and in and out, and understanding the whole concept this at multiple levels, and can bring not only physical changes to your life, but energetic, spiritual, emotional ones at so many levels. I mean, think about that. Somebody gets pneumonia, we assume they got a disease. Maybe it's that we had issues with receiving and breathing in life fully, and pneumonia came along to bring that out for us to re-examine as well. So just some suggestions to consider at this time that can be a help. Not throwing science away, looking at the metaphysics behind this as well too. Combine those together and you get powerful healing at multiple levels. Okay, guys, keeping it short. Subscribe to my videos so you get updates when I do them. You get information about my services at jimventura.com. And also, I have a radio show, Snake Oil Radio on Blog Talk Radio. I expand on some of these subjects. I like to keep my videos short. So all that good information is available, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks with another video. But I want everyone, breathe in life. You deserve it. You are special. You are unique. Feel free to take life in and everything that it offers. You do so, your life will change. Cheers.